5 people in the same house, one person streaming a movie, one on a video call, one downloading a huge file, 2 just scrolling on their phones. Nobody's internet drops. Nobody really thinks about how that's possible. That's fine. Nobody does. But your router isn't just splitting the internet evenly and hoping for the best. Every fraction of a second, it's running a live decision about who talks next, for how long, and in what order, on a single shared radio channel that can genuinely only do one thing at a time. Here's what most people's mental model gets wrong. Wi-Fi isn't 5 separate connections running side by side. It's one radio, having a very fast, very short conversation with each device in turn, so quickly it feels simultaneous. Older routers handled this the simple way. One antenna setup, one conversation at a time. Your laptop gets a tiny slice, then your phone, then your smart TV, cycling through so fast, none of you notice you're actually waiting in a queue. That's single user MIMO. And it's basically an incredibly polite, incredibly fast game of taking turns. The twist is what fair actually means to a router. It's not splitting speed equally. It's splitting time equally. That's called airtime fairness, and it exists because of a problem you'd never guess is there. A device with a weak signal sitting in a back bedroom takes longer to send the exact same amount of data than a device sitting right next to the router. If the router just let everyone take turns for the same fixed amount of data, that one slow, far-away phone could hog the channel for everyone else while it struggles through a weak connection. So instead, every device gets roughly the same amount of time on the channel, not the same amount of data. Your fast, close device gets more done in its slice. Your slow, far device gets less, but nobody gets locked out. That single design choice is why one phone with bad signal in another room can quietly drag down everyone else's speed, even though it's barely using any data at all. Modern routers do better than pure taking turns. With MU-MIMO, the router splits its own antennas into separate streams and genuinely talks to multiple devices at once, instead of queuing them one behind the other. And with Wi-Fi 6's OFDMA, it goes further still, slicing the channel itself into smaller resource units, so several small, quick requests, the kind your phone sends constantly just checking for notifications, can get bundled together and answered in the same instant instead of each waiting its own full turn. Underneath all of that sits prioritization. Not every packet of data is equally urgent. A video call breaks apart if it's delayed by even a fraction of a second. A big file download doesn't care if it takes an extra 10 seconds. So routers run quality of service rules that quietly bump time-sensitive traffic, calls, games, streaming, ahead of bulk downloads in line, even if the download technically started first, which is the real reframe. Your devices were never each getting their own dedicated internet connection. They were all taking turns talking to one radio, with the router constantly reshuffling who goes first based on signal strength, urgency, and how much is actually being asked of it. Thousands of times a second. You just see a movie that doesn't buffer. That's the version with all the math taken out.